Give time and space for people to get in here. This is another Heal Me campaign.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm gonna go live on IG.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. We're just gonna give time for people to join us in this live.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna check my stuff on IG to make sure we in full commission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we got people joining on IG. Welcome everybody. Come in, come in, come in. This is the Heal Me campaign, brotherly conversations, where for the month of May, Sundays through Thursday nights at 9 p.m., I will be having conversations with other African American men about their challenges and difficulties in life and how they've overcome them to get to a place of peace, power, and purpose. This started because in 2019, I wrote a song entitled Heal Me, featuring Grammy nominated artist Raheem Devon. This song talks about how my father inadvertently taught me unhealthy practices for coping with pain and adversity. And essentially, in my own healing process, it's important for me to bring this to all of us, right? May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we want to have these conversations with other Black men and see how we level up after going through challenges. Now, our goal for tonight is that one, brothers who are currently in their dark night of the soul moment, who are currently experiencing difficulty, that they would, one, know that they're not alone, two, that they would know that they can make it through, and three, hopefully tonight they'll hear some strategies that they can use themselves in order to not only get out of that dark moment, but to maintain a position of peace, power, and purpose. And so we have a guest here tonight. His name is Charles Sanders. Charles, tell us who you are, what you do, how we can support you ultimately, brother, how we can love you.
All right. All right. Well, what's going on, everybody? My name is Charles Sanders. My friends call me Big Body. That's my nickname back in the day. So what I do, I am, I got three things, man. Like I was telling brother earlier, I'm a master barber. Been cutting hair now for about 18, since I was 18 years old. So over 20 years of barbering. I also am an entrepreneur. I got my own company called Sanders Transportation and Logistics Service, in which I transport pharmaceuticals deliver pharmaceuticals to different stores, Target, Rite Aid, things like that, hospitals of that nature. And then, I also have my carrier authority. So with my transportation company, I can, haul loads long way, whatnot, and different little services that I offer with that. And then I also do Chief Operating Officer for LW Arts and Design and manager for Luther Wright. And been working with him now for the past almost going on 10 years, just bringing art and art activities to underprivileged youth and communities. We specialize in all things art. And we just offer a wide variety of art products and services. We got our own clothing line. I'm rocking a hat right now from Louis Rock Clothing. And so I just try to help facilitate all the operations of the company, as well as just manage him and his career and trying to get that off to the next level. So
As you spoke earlier, man, a brother, you wear many hats, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Keeps me busy.
And so they're giving you love on Facebook, just telling you on Instagram, telling you congratulations for your success.
Oh man, appreciate it. Appreciate the love, man. Everybody. Thanks.
Yeah. So for those of you who are tapped in tonight, I'm gonna give y'all a schedule. I'm giving Charles a schedule in real time. So this is what we do. We first start by listening to the song Heal Me. Charles won't give us a review of the song. What we'll ask you for, Charles, is just how you relate to the lyrics, right? Is there something in the song that catches you that you relate to? After that, we'll dive right into your story, right? I'll ask you this question. I'll say, what broke you? If that applies, you answer. But if it does not apply, then I'll change. I'll just say, what is something in your life that challenged you the most, right? What was your most difficult moment? We'll then get into your vices, the things that you may have taken on at that time to cope, to deal with that struggle. We'll then get into your turning point, your transition. What did you experience, read, come encounter with, that allowed you to transition into a more positive place. And then we'll go into, what are the strategies, the steps that you took to get back to a more well-rounded and positive place, a place of peace, power, and purpose. What strategies you still carry today, right, to maintain, and then we'll finish off with your three P's. So if you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and play the song and get into it.
That's dead.
All right, let's do it.
Dope song, man. I listened to it a few times. Dope song.
Appreciate it, bro. That ain't the song.
This is my prayer. See, my father never talked too much, just that look in his eyes, deep stares out the window, told me that life was simple, but I would never know what he would never reveal. That sharp look in his face was pain he would conceal. He inadvertently taught me that real men don't feel, so don't follow your heart. Use it to advance your cause, but always follow your thoughts and make a smart decision. You should barely apologize and never ask permission. When the world does a thing to try to break you down, don't tell a soul. They waiting just to take your crown. Your woman gon' think you weak if you express your pain. Your men gon' say you sweet, though they be feeling the same. So get a vice, cup of Hennessy, cigarette, live your life. Whatever you gotta do to get sleep at night, cause for the longest you probably ain't sleeping right, or even slept at all. When God calls, don't fight it, take a sigh of relief that you ain't gotta live no more in this grief. Yeah, the cruel world that we living in is hard and cold. You ain't a man till it scars your soul. Straight up, so don't ever express your feelings. You sit in silence, cause the only feelings you get are anger, hate, and violence. But see, the system got a process and a plan for that. Time is the only thing you got, so never hand them that. So if you ever truly feel like you about to break, get you a pencil and a notebook, let your mind escape. Writing is the only place where we can feel free. After he died, I read his notebook, he wrote, "Heal me. Heal me, yeah. Heal me. Father, don't nobody understand me. I won't make it out unless you come down and heal me, yeah. Heal me. They don't know the pain I've been going through. I call your name cause I know that you can heal me. Was he really that strong? Or just putting up a front? Did death come too soon? Or was it something he wanted? After 66 hard years of hiding them tears, did he get a reward? Well, let me make this clear that I think his vice got him. The thing he used to cope with life just took the life out of him. Them cigarettes that he was smoking all them stressful days. But we still had a few good days, and I knew, cause he would smoke one or two, but otherwise a pack. I used to ask him not to smoke again, but what I should have said was breathe, pop, don't hold it in. We do yoga to get peace these days, but them Carolina preachers didn't teach these ways. It was suffer and survive. If you don't get your blessings in this life, if you tired, you can get them when you die. He used to hit that cigarette and play too much. He got cancer and ain't say too much. He said, heal me.
Talk to us, Charles. How does that song, how do you relate to that, man?
Man, so I played the song back, when you first sent it to me so many times because it's so much in the song that I can relate to. I mean, and it was I was like, wow, it was kind of crazy to me for real because my dad is from North Carolina. He smoked cigarettes for years, you know what I'm saying? And he was old school, man. Like my father was older, my parents were older than most people's parents, you know what I'm saying? Like my father, when he had me, was in his 50s, you know what I'm saying? When he died, he was 87. And so, that whole mentality, like you said in the song, of growing up about how a man, and it wasn't just my father. I felt like it was also too just society, period, growing up, you know what I'm saying? But he definitely, where, as a man, he, saying, kind of taught me, like, you say, you suck things up, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really, say, always express himself feelings wise. I mean, I'm grateful that my father always made sure to, say, let me and my brother know how much, say he loved us and stuff like that. But I mean, it definitely was that, that whole mentality of, saying, a man, you supposed to be, saying, strong, you supposed to, saying, you got to hold it down, you got to, saying, it wasn't a whole lot of expressing of, saying, especially if he was going through stuff, if he was going through pain or inner, saying, problems and stuff like that. And so I feel like a lot of that probably came out because my dad was, saying, kind of hard on us too, saying, growing up. And I feel like a lot of that may have been, now that I'm older, looking back on it, may have been from not really being in a place where he felt where he could, saying, always express himself, saying, maybe what he was feeling or what he was going through. And so I just, man, it was just so many parts of the song that I'm just like, man, that's my dad all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it really kind of touched home for me because, I mean, like I said, I mean, that's just how it was. And I mean, just growing up, just period, I feel like in society, it was like, hey, I came up in a time where it was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't, as a man, like you said, your friends will look at you, saying, kind of weak if you express certain things. Your girl might, might feel the type of way if you're not holding it down or carrying it in a certain type of, manner. So, just, saying, a great song that I really just was able to connect to that I, like I said, really a lot of the parts I felt like that coming up.
Yeah, understood. Thank you for that, brother. Shout out to your father and North Carolina soldiers and
Yeah, man. Charlotte all day, baby. That second home, shout out my cousin Chuck and all them down there, North Carolina, Charlotte all day, Queen City.
for sure. Well, let's dive right in, man. Let's dive right into your story. Like I said, we're gonna start off the question very simple, man. What broke you, man? What was your moment?
Okay, so and I, like you said, it was very challenging. I won't say you know, it came close to breaking me over, or saying so just recently, one of the things that caused me to start up my transportation company was one of the hats that I don't wear as much anymore, property management. I'm also a property manager, and I had been managing properties for this saying, for 10 years for a company that I was working for. And so I had my mentor who actually got me started into property management came to me and wanted me to come back and work for him under a new company that he had started. Well, should I say a revamped company he had started. So this was a different, saying, position. I was going to be dealing more with like leasing and stuff like that, but still, saying, in the same field or whatnot. So I ended up leaving, saying the job and the company that I was with. I had been there for 10 years, management level position, saying everything was cool. Going to this company, and it just it didn't work out. It didn't work out. Excuse me. And so it didn't work out, and so I found myself resigning from that company within. I probably was only there about 6 to 8 months for real. And so here I am resigning. I'm 39 years old. Resigning from this company, and so I'm at the time, like I said, I was 39, and so I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed. I mean, of course, I still got always got my barbering and stuff to fall back on. Praise God, for that and everything. But still, I just was at a point where I never thought I would be. I'm thinking to myself like, man, here I am, 39 years old, about to be 40. I'm out here. And I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed. I don't have a job. I don't have, and I'm at that point now. I'm getting to the age of the season where it's like I'm trying to start smooth sailing this thing. It ain't. I felt like I was starting at square one, at an age where I'm like I'm supposed to be rounding the corner. Like this thing's supposed to be getting. I'm trying to reach that. I'm supposed to be at that level now where it's like I'm putting this thing in cruise control, and so it really. It affected me, it kind of had me down because I'm like, and because, I was putting the blame, I couldn't put it on nobody else but myself. I'm like, I'm in this position like, hey, I should be further along than what I am. It should have more things in place where this is not happening to me. Mm-hmm. And so by the grace of God, the same company that I was with, the institution, it was my church. I was working for my church, doing property management for my church. So they ended up hiring me back under a different position. But at this time it was so humbling, man. It really, nobody at the time kind of knew what I was going through because the position that I was working was, the same position that when I was, at the other position was, saying one of my workers, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing like, saying the same type of work that I used to have somebody that was underneath me that I used to be their boss, saying, doing. And so, saying grateful to God that I was just able to work and that he had something for me, but just, it was still just, it was so humbling, and it was so, just, I had to just step back, and I'm just like, wow, man, like, so here I am, especially when you used to be in, and like I said, I was in a management position, everything like that, and then here now I'm at a subordinate, position. I'm taking orders, saying I'm at the level that, so people who I used to be, above or whatever, and saying not saying like I'm, saying I mean I'm, above anybody in that type of way, but I'm just saying, how it is, like, saying if you come back and saying like you work a job and your former employee is now, saying you're equal, you like, man, like, saying, so it was definitely humbling. And a lot of people, just being in that position, period, where, saying I'm just taking orders and everything like that, it started to kind of, saying mess with me mentally a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, man, and I just felt just period that I should be way further along than what I was just, saying at that point in life, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that was a breaking point for me, and just being at that at that point where I felt like I was just starting from scratch, like starting at ground zero, just starting to, saying all over again, trying to establish and realizing, hey, I'm older now. You know what I'm saying? When, at 40, it's third quarter time, baby. We ain't got, it ain't like being 20 and join at this age. It's like, hey man, how much time you got left out here. You feel me? So yeah.
Let me interject. So thank you, first and foremost, right?
Mm-hmm.
39, right?
Mm-hmm. 40 now, but yeah, 39 there. Yeah.
At the time.
Yep.
You make a move.
Mm-hmm.
You go do some work with one of your homies.
Mm-hmm.
It don't work out.
Right.
Of course, you didn't tell us why it didn't work out, but I want to make a safe assumption that there was some energy in that interaction that wasn't savory or safe for you.
There you go.
Which could be detrimental within itself because the homie.
Right.
So you end up having to leave that job. You're unemployed. You're dealing with the responsibilities of things you got to cover.
Indeed. Yes, sir.
You communicated that you had never really, really been in this spot before. You're a worker.
Mm-hmm.
Church does take you back.
Mm-hmm.
But now the position that you're in, so you leave what you had to go to something that you perceive could be better with a homie.
Yep.
Don't work out. You're right back where you started.
Yep.
Working under people that you used to manage.
Indeed. Yep.
How did that feel?
Man, it was I'm trying to think of another word other than humbling I could use. It was super humbling. I mean, at some points I had to fight myself to not feel like I was degraded in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because there was nothing wrong with the type of work that I was doing, but it just made me feel like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, like I just wasn't used to it. It was something like, so like I said, I had to make myself feel like, saying like I can have just as much pride in what I'm doing now as what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? And
what was the feeling you were trying not to have?
Say it again.
What was the feeling that you were trying not to have?
I was trying not to have the feeling that, like, saying that I hadn't. I was trying to fight the feeling that this was beneath me in any type of way, and trying to also fight the feeling that, I didn't have to feel embarrassed in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have to feel embarrassed. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be grateful that you're working. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful that you have a job, you can pay the bills, that even, you know what I'm saying? And not to mention, you know what I'm saying, this position was paying less money. So, you know what I'm saying? So I still got, you know what I'm saying, bills that are built on the money that I was making, you know what I'm saying, and now I'm making less, so I got to try to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how we going to cover, you know what I'm saying, this stuff. So, you know, and like I said, that the embarrassment was the biggest feeling that I had to try to fight, and just, you know, pride, you know what I'm saying, pride when you as a man, and you pride, and you like, you know what I'm saying, and you on the same level as somebody that you used to be, you know what I'm saying, that you used to, you know, be in charge of or whatever. It's like, dang, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you fight that feeling of like I got downgraded in any type of way, you know?
Feeling like you fell off.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like I fell off. And it was, and not only, and I was fighting it, and I really wasn't, you know, telling anybody that I was having these types of feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, because I felt like if I tell somebody that, like, they would look at me like a type of way, like, oh, well, what you know, so because I didn't want anybody to think that I was, you know, feeling like I was better than anybody, or you know, too good to do anything or hold a certain position, you know?
You're feeling the double whammy, right? So you're feeling embarrassed. You're trying not, but you're feeling the embarrassment. You're feeling embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
But you're also feeling embarrassed by feeling embarrassed.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, you know what I'm saying, because like I said, it's nothing wrong with what I was doing. And you know, again, you know, having to be grateful, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm so grateful to God that he allowed me to be able to work. Because I mean, at the point where, I'm telling you, at the point where my pastor came to me and was like, hey, you know, I got this position if you want it. Because even I'm gonna tell you like this, when my pastor offered me the job, he even told me that, you know, he thought about it for a minute and was somewhat reluctant to ask me, because he didn't want me to feel as if, you know what I'm saying, I was as if the position was something, you know, beneath me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, but at the time it was like, hey man, pastor, listen, listen, the way my bill's set up, listen, whatever you got, you know, I'm doing. And that was something that, you know, saying my dad did, you know, taught me, you know, is that, hey man, you know, as a man, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying, to make it, to survive, to hold down your family. And so, you know what I'm saying, it was nothing, you know, it's nothing that I wouldn't do to, you know what I'm saying, in order to be able to survive and you know what I'm saying, to provide for myself and for my family. But that feeling was there, man. You know, that feeling was there, and it was real, and it was, you know, something I had to fight.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you let down?
Biggest person that I let down, I felt was really myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really feel like I let down, you know, any other people per se, but I felt like I let myself down a little bit. I mean, just because, you know, I always try to take full responsibility for anything that happens. And I, you know, it during that period, I had to do a lot of reflecting, like, okay, how did you get here? You know what I'm saying? What did you know what I'm saying? And I look back over my life, and I was, you know, thinking about some things that I did not do, you know what I'm saying, that I could, or things that I could have done better, that resulted in me even being able to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? So I, you know, I felt like I kind of let down myself, because I've always, and people around me, you know what I'm saying, glory be to God, have always, you know what I'm saying, kind of projected me like, okay, hey, you know what I'm saying, you're going to do great things, and you're going to be, you know what I'm saying, great, da, 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 da. And so, you know, I kind of felt like that too, like those people who had poured into me, but like I said, more so just myself, like, you know what I'm saying, where I was at. My mama kind of bit a little bit, because I just felt like, man, I you know, and I still be feeling like this, like I should be in a position now where I should be able to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in that position. That's something that I thrive for, is to always be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be in a position, and you know, she doesn't need me to take care of her, you know what I'm saying? None of that type of stuff or whatever, but still, you know, I want to be there, and I want to, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like, dang, you know what I'm saying, I'm not able to do the things for her that I want to do, but more importantly, like, you know what I'm saying, I set certain goals and things for myself that I wanted to get to and achieve, or certain places that I feel like, and if I'm not there, I still feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's on me. It's because of certain things that I haven't done, or places where I didn't apply myself, or places where I procrastinated or didn't do, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like that was the biggest, you know what I'm saying, the biggest letdown was myself.
Where does that thank you for that. Where does that come from for you? Just
It just comes from, man, I just always have just strived for, you know what I'm saying, to want to be great, to want to be, you know, for excellence, to just want to be you know, more, you know, above average, just, you know, just wanting to be great. I've always just had big, stupid dreams and you know what I'm saying, and goals and aspirations and stuff. And you know, always had those, but always not knowing exactly like what I wanted to do in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really just within one of my homeboys at my man Dwayne, who you know, is the owner of you know, Legendary Burger, you know what I'm saying? But he just kind of made me realize like within these last couple of months, he was like, you know what I'm saying, like about because that my passion in life is entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? It's entrepreneurship. It's just business and succeeding in business, not really having a particular business that I, you know, some people grow up and they say, hey, I want to be a doctor. Some people say, hey, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? I've always been, people ask me, what you want to do? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like that my whole life growing up, you know what I'm saying? All the way to adult. But I've always had a passion. So I really, and when he said that to me, I was like, that's it. My passion is entrepreneurship. It's just doing business, whatever type of business it is, and just being successful in it. And so, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, has led me to, you know, look at a few things different. But like I said, I've always just wanted to be great. I've always wanted to make my parents proud. I always wanted to be able to give back and take care of my parents. You know what I'm saying? I you know, I regret not being at a certain level so that that, you know, before my dad passed away, that I could have been able to do certain things for him or allow him to see, even though I know he was super proud of me, you know what I'm saying, and where I've gotten to and everything before he passed, but still it was certain things that I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying, just as an individual for my parents, for my mother, for my father, and you know, not all the way reaching those goals and stuff, and knowing that I could have, because like I said, I always look at things like anything, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it. If this person can succeed, it's nothing holding me back. What's holding me back? If they can do it, I can do it, type of thing. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how I've always felt.
Charles, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
You said within the last couple of months, your friend Dwayne was helping you to see you got a passion for business.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about some people would have said, you know, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or this. And for you, you didn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
Before you left the church the first time,
Mm-hmm.
what was your identity based off? Like it sounds like you had a sense of confidence about yourself. What was that based on?
So I think before I left the church, I was based upon one well, my identity then was I was kind of all in at the time, really, with me and my partner were doing the art thing. And I swore, I can remember saying to myself when I had my position at the church that whenever I was to leave this position was going to be, you know, I was going to be working full time, you know, saying with the art company, with LW Arts and Design. And, you know, over time and everything like this. But at the same time, even though the company hadn't got to that point, I still was at a point where, you know, I just wanted certain things for myself, like, you know what I'm saying, because as much as I've always wanted success, I've also wanted the things that come along with success, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and not kind of reaching some of those goals because I'm like, okay, well, my 9 to 5 is great, but it's not quite paying me what I want, or you know what I'm saying, I want a little bit more because I want to be able to do certain things, buy certain things, go certain places, all this type of stuff. But my identity was more so based on just a, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm a businessman, you know what I'm saying, I got a lot of things going on. I do property management, I manage, you know what I'm saying, the artists and the company. I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm still, you know what I'm saying, cutting hair every day. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm still, you know what I'm saying, in business for myself on that end. So that was my identity. And you know, when this opportunity came across, I just was looking. I probably was a little bit too focused on dollar signs and not enough focused on, like, you know, how much does this really fit with me and everything that I'm trying to do. But you know, at the time, I could say, I guess that probably was my identity. I hope that, you know what I'm saying, was clear.
So no, thank you for that. So You're a man of dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always been things that you wanted to do, and a lot of your push and your vigor and your energy at that time is this feeling of like, because I hear this feeling of like, I'm tired.
Mm.
I want to round the corner.
Yeah.
I want things to get easier.
Yes. Yes.
I
For sure.
I leave the job for this opportunity because I'm thinking this gonna be a move.
Yeah, indeed.
It don't work.
Right.
I failed.
Mm.
Is that
Yeah, that was definitely a feeling. Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And not and I had that feeling of failure, not just even in that particular business or you know saying that company that I had went to, but just I just had that feeling of failure just for me and my overall, you know saying life. Because I'm like, hey, I'm at this age, you know, for as much as people have poured into me, as much knowledge as I've had in business, the opportunities that I've had have been presented to me, the people I've met, the connections I've made, I should be better. I should be at a better point. I should be further along. And I don't have nobody to blame but me. I'm not one of the people that's going to point the finger and say, oh, this happened, that happened. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, you, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely. That was definitely a big feeling that I had, was that whole, you know what I'm saying, like failure joint. Because, you know what I'm saying, it's like I just had no excuses. I had no excuse. Like I should be better. I should be more. I should be achieving more. I should have more. I should be doing more. I should be further along in the things that I'm trying to do. And so that was definitely a big feeling that I had to fight, and just realize that, you know, everything's in God's time. And one of the things that I just recently learned or took from a recent sermon that I was listening to was, you know, just because things don't go the way that I think they should go, or the way that you think they should go, doesn't mean that it didn't go the way that God wanted it to go. You know what I'm saying? And so uh just that, you know, I've been trying to, you know, rest that in my spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, just even in everything that I'm doing now, because I started my transportation company, and things didn't go, you know what I'm saying, the way I thought they were going to go in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I came in and I was gun ho, and I did everything for months and setting everything up and getting it together, and scraped the scrounds and did all this, and you know what I'm saying, made a way, was able to buy me you know what I'm saying, a Sprinter van and everything. And I'm coming into it thinking I'm about to coming in hot, you know what I'm saying, thinking John, and it did not go that way at all. And so, you know what I'm saying, I had to pivot and do some different things. And so uh but like I said, again, realizing that, hey, just because it didn't go the way that I think it or thought it should go or whatever, doesn't mean that it didn't go the way that God wants it to go. And so that, you know, saying no matter what, you know, success is still achievable. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all the dreams and everything that I have are still, they're no further away than what they were before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, saying it's still all on the horizon, still all within my grasp, still able to achieve. I just got to believe and then, you know, saying, and really, you know, saying, trust in God the way I need to see them, you know, saying, come to fruition.
Charles? I love your thinking. I love what you're saying. But what you're doing to us right now is you're taking us from this feeling of failure, and then now you're skipping all the way to this is how I look at it now.
Right.
I'm gonna take you back if you don't mind.
Okay.
Boom. The failure is not just in that moment, right?
Right.
Failure is in the idea that why am I still here?
Correct.
Why am I still dealing with the same problems? Why am I not what I see myself as?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Therapy might call that imposter syndrome.
Okay.
But it hits a coin, it hits a head when this opportunity doesn't work out. Because not only does that opportunity not work out, you end up back where you were in somewhat of a lower management position, lower position,
Correct.
quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
but you're embarrassed by the failure, but you're also embarrassed to communicate that you feel like you failed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So where do you turn? How do you cope? What do you do to what are you doing? What are some of the things that you how are you dealing
Um.
with that emotionally?
So I started. I was when I was, really trying to do with it. I mean, and I don't want to, sound super, churchy on here, or nothing. But I just really, I really had to, get in a lot of prayer, and I started. Whenever I go back and I start listening to like sermons and like old sermons and stuff or whatever that touch me, because sometimes I have to be reminded of some of the things that some of the promises of God and some of the things that really that he says about me, that he says about my life and everything like that. And that's what really helped me cope. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm just be honest. I mean, I'm just speaking for me. You know what I'm saying? God is very real in my life, and that's what sometimes I have to refocus on on God and what's really to kind of center and ground myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I forget about, or in the hustle and bustle, forget about some of the things that that I know to be true. And so, and that's what helps me deal. That's what helps me cope. You know what I'm saying? Hearing and remembering and just saying connecting with saying God or higher power, whatever people want to saying whatever God folks serve, but that's what I do, you know what I'm saying.
So
And
was that there for you immediately? Like in the midst of that, was it like an automatic like let me turn to God, or was it like a period where
um I can say it was always there, but I guess it was a period in which I wasn't as it was a period in which what I'm saying I guess I kind of had to stop saying more so thinking about it and speaking about it and actually like doing it, like what I'm saying, because it's one thing to be like, okay, oh well, I need to turn to God and then jump, but it's another thing to really like, hold up, man, let me really focus. Like I'm saying it, but am I just saying it, like what I'm saying, am I just saying it, or am I really doing it? Am I really talking to him more? Am I really praying to him? Am I really going back, reading my word? Am I really like, saying, kind of soaking in the things that, saying that are being said to me or that he's saying to me about me and my life and stuff like that. So I guess I had to, there was a period when I just was just, when I just was, I was just kind of all up in the air. I was, it was a period that I went through for a while of just kind of disbelief. Like, man, I can't believe, saying this is happening to me. Like, I can't believe that I'm in this position. I can't believe, saying that this is going down in this type of way. Like, I never thought I'd be here. Like, saying, type of thing. And so, again, I just had to kind of first and foremost just get over that. Like, saying, like, listen, it is what it is. It's done happened. This where you at. Saying, this is what's going on right now. Like, we got to deal with what it is. Like, saying, we can't we ain't gonna be able to wish it away. You ain't gonna be able to, saying, just hope it go away. Like, saying, this is what it is. You got to face the situation, what I'm saying, and just buckle down and get serious about it. And in the midst of trying to get out of it also, but, so also, again, turning your face to God and allowing him to, saying, speak to you, pour through you, saying, fill you with what you need to be filled with, so that you can, saying, make it out of this period and continue to move forward. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this the way they would say it, right? We in current times.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies might say, it's the mindset for me, right? It's the mindset for me.
Right.
That period though, right? How long was it from the time you left the other job?
Mm-hmm.
How long was it before you started working at the church?
Um, it was 3 months. I left to come about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I started back at the church on the 14th of February.
Okay.
So,
holiday season too.
Huh?
That's holiday season.
Oh man, and you know it, bro. And so that was, man. Let me tell you, man. That Christmas, woo. Now you want to talk about some feeling? The time I was feeling down, man. That was, man. That holiday season, like I said, right before Thanksgiving. It's holiday season, and I'm like, I'm letting folks know, like, listen, it won't be no. The holidays will not be the same this year, brother. So, I was, man, it was something, and at the time, I just, it was tough. You know what I'm saying? That was tough going through that. And, trying to find, and then I'm depleting all my savings and trying to join, and I'm still doing little stuff, and I'm doing my best to hustle and grind. I was doing everything. I started back cutting hair full time. I'm doing DoorDash. I'm doing this, doing that, everything. But I mean, it was tough. Just especially, like I said, during that Christmas season, not being able to really do anything and give, because I like to be able to give gifts and stuff like that during the holiday season to make me feel good, to be able to bless somebody else or whatever. And I already be feeling the type of way when holidays come around, because again, not at the level I want to be, can't really do it all the way like how I really want to do it. But now it's super on that level, and it's more magnified this particular season because, like I said, I'm not, I'm unemployed or whatnot. And so
what was that feeling?
Huh?
What was the feeling? Because you're giving us thoughts.
The feeling was just feeling a little bit of inadequacy, feeling inadequate, feeling like, saying I'm not measuring up to where I need to be, saying, or what I should be. So, feeling inadequate, feeling, I was feeling, kind of having a feeling of anger, I kind of wrestled with God a little bit in that time period, because I it's easy to look around and compare yourself to other people or other situations, and you see people, and especially I'm like, man, God, like I try to do, everything you ask me to do. I try to, tell people about you, you know what I'm saying? I try to represent you. I try my best. I know I could do better. Don't get me wrong. I'm, you know what I'm saying? I know I fall short, Lord, but I know I do more than this other joker that I see. And he, I look around some friend, I'm like, man, I know people, and I'm like, they don't praise you like I do. They don't go to Jonah. They making 100,000. They doing this. They they doing that. They making six figures. They going here doing that or having this or So, and but you can't judge another man's servant, and you don't know how God going. You can't judge how God gonna bless this one or that one. But
you can't. And I love the fact that you're saying that you can't, because now you're transitioning your thought. But let's have a real moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to be frustrated with God?
Most certainly, because God is big enough to handle your frustrations. God is big enough to handle your frustrations. He's big enough to handle your questions. Your inquiries, all of that. So yeah, I mean, it's completely all right. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, what I've been,
And I can relate to the idea of saying, yo, I showed up, bruh.
Right.
Right? Like you're talking to God, like I showed up, bruh.
Showed up.
But I do what you asked me to do.
Yes, sir.
When I'm gonna get my run?
When I'm gonna get mine? Hey, man, it's real, man. It's a real feeling. It's a real emotion. And I feel it. That I feel it a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I struggle with. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I wrestle with. Even to this day, it's something that I try to, that I talk to God about, a lot, because that's definitely how, I be feeling, because, you like you said, man, I showed up, Lord, and I feel like, and it's just so easy to look around, there's so many other stuff, and we have so many other things too now in society. and you like, say I'm just using this for an example, but just like, man, I go on Instagram and, I see a chick who, making, damn near 6 figures a month, showing off her body, on the gram. And I'm like, Lord, I wake up every morning and post a Bible verse or whatever. And I'm making the ends meet. So it's like, golly, But it's tough, it's tough sometimes because you don't understand and you be wondering like, what's going on. But you just gotta, I don't know, it's just, I get it in the great by and by, I guess. I don't know, but it's just one of the things that I know one day God will explain to me, or maybe not, I don't know, but you just got to keep pushing forward,
Scale from 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
0 being not at all. 10, of course, being the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
What's your level of frustration?
Right now, currently,
then
okay.
You said so back then you said it's still present to this day. So let's go current.
Yeah.
Go current.
So then I guess my level of frustration probably then when I was going through it was probably like an 8 or a 9. I'm going to say a 9. My level of frustration right now is probably still at about I would guess to say a 6 or 7, because like I said, I kind of, when I started my transportation company, I definitely thought that I was going to come in, at a different level, or that it was going to be a lot different and for me than what it has been so far. And so, I still get frustrated and just, feeling like, man, like, because I'm like, hey, Lord, like, saying like I asked you, like, this wasn't the right thing to do. Like, saying, because it's kind of like one of the things where it's like, okay, with the transportation company, I got it started by, I finally, left out on faith. It, it feels like this whole time, everything's been lining up and coming together correctly for me to, to do this, to get started. And now that I got started, it ain't quite what I thought it was going to be, or it ain't, quite working out the way I thought it might work out. And I've had to kind of adjust, my plan about how I wanted to do things or whatever. And so, it's still, it's my frustration. Yeah, I would say probably about like on a 7 or whatnot, just because things, and then just like I said, it's just, I still find myself looking around at times. And and like I said, I try not to do it, but because like I said, I don't want to be judging another man's servant, and I don't want to, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what people going, just because you see somebody and they, they doing good or they look like they're junk. You don't know what that person going through, and so they might look like heaven on Instagram and hell in the background. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't, you can't go on that type of stuff, but it just be, you still have that feeling like, man, when I'm gonna get mine, like when is it gonna be my turn, like when is it gonna be, and some of that is saying, believing that it's your turn, and speaking that and having that feeling and that saying attitude like, hey, it is my turn, like saying it is gonna go well for me. I feel like saying I'm one of the people that feel like you definitely got to speak things to existence. You gotta try to project what you want. You got to think positively about, saying if you don't expect nothing good from God, how's he going to give you something good? You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. Yeah. So I try to,
I want to pose something for you, because I appreciate all that. I appreciate your vulnerability. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say vulnerability. I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate you rocking with me, like rolling with me as I push you through these questions, because I'm really detouring from what we're supposed to be doing, but it's because I see something and I can't help but what I see, and I can't help but what I hear. And I just met you, but I love my brothers. What do you feel like you were sent here to do?
That's a good question. Man, I don't know. That's something that that's one of them things that I feel like even now in my life, I'm still kind of trying to figure out for real. I ask God that sometimes, like Lord, what do you want me to do? What is it that you, because because when you try so many different things and then they don't quite go all the way the way you think they should go. So then, you know, I get to that point, and I ask God sometimes, like, you know, like, what am I, you know, am I doing the wrong thing? Am I doing the right thing? What do you want me to do? Because I still struggle with that. I still, so in my mind, be trying to figure out like exactly, you know, what is my purpose here to do, and am I, you know, and not achieving that, you know, like. And I would hate for that to be like, you know, saying that I'm like, man, like, you know, saying I've been here, like, in my, you know, God want me to be doing this, you know, saying, and I'm not doing that because, you know, saying for whatever reason. So I don't know. I still be, you know, I still wonder and struggle with that sometimes. I mean, I know, of course, you know, according to my belief, you know what I'm saying, I'm you know, saying I'm here to try to help somebody else along the way, which I definitely hope that I'm doing, and I try to do. I try to open my eyes more to the totality of that and what that means, you know what I'm saying, to help somebody else along the way, because that don't always mean pulling money out your pocket or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying, that's like things that you're doing, like you are helping people along the way by having this type of platform with other brothers who are going through issues, by putting, you know, saying, highlighting what other brothers are going through, so that when the next brother come along, he know he can make it through because somebody else done been through what he going through. You understand what I'm saying? So that stuff, when I say helping somebody else along the way, you know what I'm saying, and reaching back or whatever. But you know, if I can at least do that in life, you know what I'm saying, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, that's something that the Lord has, you know, saying, asked me to do, or that I want to do. But yeah, man, I still, you know, saying, I still search for that, and I still struggle with that, as far as like, what is my, you know, saying, purpose, and what do I feel like I'm, you know, saying, here to do.
Because I want to say this to you.
Mhm.
It's an analogy. I didn't make it up. I've heard it before, but I love the analogy, right? That a fish is a bad swimmer,
Mhm.
and the eagle is super, you know, eagle is fly.
Right.
How much success, though, do you expect out of an eagle if someone tries to convince it to swim?
Right.
You know, sometimes it's for us as human beings, right? The reason why we feel disconnected is because we're not in the environment where our gifts are most useful.
Mm. Mm. Right.
Or we might be in the right environment, but not know the gift to use.
Right.
My
Amen.
question for you, and I'm taking this right from Carrington. So if anybody was on here last night, then they'll know what it was. But I'm taking this right from Carrington, the brother I spoke to last night.
Okay.
What is the problem in the world for you that you've seen? What is the problem in the world that you would love to solve?
Problem in the world that I would love to solve. I would like to. This is funny. It's crazy. Okay, I see what you're doing, Lord. I would like to. So, being that I've, you know, I was a business administration major in college and everything like that. So I've always been, like you said, entrepreneurship, business, or whatever. So oftentimes I see. This is funny because this is, you know, it's funny because this is a business that I know God has told me on more than one occasion that I should start, but I still haven't, and I feel like I'm probably procrastinating on it. But I'm able to kind of look at business and see where people, the things that people are not doing, like with their business. Like I so often, I'm very intrigued with functionality and how like things work. So like, I'm the type of person that'll be standing in line at Target or McDonald's or something like that and see inefficiency in the way it's operating and be like, see, now if they did this different or if they did that different, things would go a lot smoother. Or I look at somebody's business and be like, you know, you get so much business if you just change your sign or just paint your door or just like, you know what I'm saying, like that. So I've wanted to, you know, I would love to help people who are in business or doing their business, like just kind of be a consultant, you know what I'm saying, and see what they could do better with their business, like little things to make it like, you know, grow and flourish more. That's one problem I like to, you know what I'm saying, is folks see for folks that's, you know, doing entrepreneurship like that. The other problem, you know, I like to see is just, you know, helping out in our community. I just believe that the number one root problem for our community in Black is the lack of Black fathers in the home. And I would love to see now, and that's an arena that I you know, I don't know the first place to even begin, but I would love to, you know, see a way that we could, you know, fix that issue in our community and get more Black fathers, you know, in the home, and just more fathers just home, period. Because I feel like that's the root issue to all the different things that plague our Black community. You know, we ain't got no Black fathers in the home, man, and it affects us way more than what people think, man. You know what I'm saying? That like this is crucial. So I don't know. Those are the two things I can think of as far as those are two issues that I see that I would love to be a part of trying to fix or correct. You know what I'm saying? In some type of way. One, like I said, on the business side, is something I definitely could do that I, you know, know how to do. The one like on the community side is something that like I, you know, saying I would love to be a part of, but me personally, I don't know kind of like the steps or the first place to start with that. But you know what I'm saying, I feel like I could be a part of it and add value.
I love that. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with this the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ability to look into businesses and see the smaller things that they could improve that would increase their functionality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you want to do that?
I do want to do it. I think it's something that I do want to do. It's something that I have, you know, done on maybe once or two, just, you know, person that I might know personally, and they ask me or whatever. I do want to do it. I think it's something that, and like I said, even in this moment when you was asking me about it, I'm like, you know, I feel like this was, you know, like God being like, see, I told you this was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been told you this is something you could do, you know what I'm saying? And I just been, you know, have been once again putting it on myself, having applied myself and put forth the steps that I need to do to get that going. Because I have had people, you know, I've had people in like the management of my artists who, you know, saying have come and been like, can you manage me? Or won't you, you know what I'm saying, Joan? And I'd be like, oh, well, you know, I got so much on my plate and all this and this and that. But I really have thought about it on more than one occasion. And I've had other people tell me like, Slim, you ought to be doing that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it is something that I would like to do because you know, I'm just able to, and I kind of know the level of which I want to do it on as far as I consult, because it's like, I don't want to be trying to manage somebody's business. Because like I said, I ain't got time to do that, but I could look at your joint and be like, hey, won't you try this? Or won't you try that? Or, you know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying, change this up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, and just, you know, give people some consulting tips, and, you know what I'm saying, they pay me for that, and then they just go ahead on and do what they got to do, you know what I'm saying?
So you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna do?
I need to use this moment as motivation to really to pursue it, you know what I'm saying, amongst the other things that I'm doing. But I definitely it's something that I just need to I just got to stop procrastinating and just apply myself on and really you know, just start somewhere. I think the biggest thing is just start, and that was one of the things I was most proud about myself when I started my transportation joint, was that I did it. You know what I'm saying? I stopped talking about it, and I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one of the things, I mean, literally, because it was one day I heard God in my head, like, you know, he was like, would you just do what I asked you to do? You know what I'm saying? And literally the next day I went on the joint and went on the website and started getting my DOT and everything for my transportation company. But Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just stop procrastinating and just do it. Put some stuff down on paper, and realizing that I don't have to. One of the things I gotta take some of my own advice in medicine. Like, you can start off small with so many things, man. Like, I think sometimes we hold ourselves back because saying we want to you want to start something, and you think it's got to be big and grand from the very beginning, but it's like, what's stopping me from, like you said, what's stopping me from making a Facebook page or Instagram channel, just being like, hey, Sanders Consultant, or whatever I want to do it, outlining the different services that I offer, and just letting people, start hitting me up about the joint. Because then, I mean, it ain't nothing but that, and me just telling them what I, what I think, and getting their business model, and just thinking of what ways I can, try to improve it. So, I mean, it's I gotta, put one foot in front of the other, and just, kind of just stop BSing, really. That's what I gotta do.
So when you gonna do that?
Man, I I need to. I'm gonna do that this weekend, man. I'm gonna I'm gonna start writing some stuff down. Not even this weekend, man. When we get off of here, I just need to make me an outline. You know what I'm saying? Because I already got the idea, but I need to bring it together, put it down on paper, and start figuring out, like, hey, okay, what's the first step, saying, that I can do toward this, and really get it going, figure out, say, how I want to structure it. So yeah, I appreciate the motivation.
All I did, all I did was ask you questions.
Yeah, and sometimes, man, that's all we need, man. Sometimes we just man, people just, we need that in life. It's so, like you said, somebody to ask you that question, or somebody to put, right in your face, or on the forefront, what needs to be done, or what can be real to you. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it, because saying, and confirmation, saying, sometimes, I feel like I got to smack you in the face and be like, listen, saying, and this is funny too, because I just 2 weeks ago, very powerful sermon, brother preached in my church, about guest preacher, about angels. And he was saying that, hey, we always look at angels be so, but he was like, an angel is any personal thing that God can use to relay a message to you. And you never know who that angel might be, or whatever, or when it might come around. And so, what I'm saying, I thank God, thank you for letting God use you, because I feel like in this moment, he using you as an angel to say to me, hey, listen, what I'm saying, this uh you doing other things too, and that's all well and good, but what else did I tell you to do? And what else, saying, do you have right there that's use what's in your hand, saying, what God gave you in your hand sometimes, saying, that's already there that I could be doing, what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll praise you to the Most High. So once you become the man in the DMV that helps Black businesses improve their functionality and processes, and get to a place where we bring in a new wave of Black millionaires,
My God.
once your money and your prosperity is sitting where it needs to be, because you finally got your run, not
Right.
because you worked harder than you worked before, but because you finally worked in the area in which God designed you for.
My God.
What can you do with all that free time?
What I can do with that free time then is start to build a team and establish and think about, okay, now this issue with our Black men, our Black youth, men and boys and girls, saying, how can we make change in our community? How can we get more Black fathers? What impact can I make on the community? Saying, because I feel like that goes to that part of, saying, reaching back to help the next man and helping somebody else along the way. What can I do? What can I do with this free time to, saying, to do that, to bring up our community, to reach and to try to address in some type of capacity what I view as the problem that's in our Black community. Because I mean, we got a lot of issues in our community, and some people can tackle one thing, some people tackle other thing. My thing that I would love to tackle, like I said, would be just getting more Black fathers in the home, more fathers in the home. And so just that's what I would try to do with that free time is hey, let's saying, what can I do? What can we do? What team can I but what people can I put around me that, see the same vision and can, jump because I may, but I can, if I pull this person and if I pull that person, if we, all come together, we can, make some type of difference, and whatever type of, difference that we make, however great or small, it's still a difference being made. You know what I'm saying?
You know why I'm smiling at you?
Why?
What do you feel like? What do you feel like you were sent here to do?
I guess you know what I'm saying. Help Black people improve the functionality of their business and try to get more Black fathers in the home. Wow, that's amazing.
I'm happy for you.
Say it again.
I'm happy for you.
Wow.
Brother, let's do our 3 Ps, man. I'm asking these 3 questions. You answer it. First thing that comes to mind, man, the most authentic and real thing for you, man. When do you feel most peaceful?
When do I feel most peaceful? Mine is simple for real. I feel most peaceful, like, man, I be feeling most peaceful for real. But I'm in my car and I'm just, it's a nice summer, man, beautiful day or whatever weather-wise, and I'm, riding through the streets of the city or whatever, windows down, got the breeze coming in, you know what I'm saying? Everything blowing and flowing, man. It's just like, it's just I just, I love it, man. I just feel peace then. Or sometimes, I can, I'm peaceful at at home when I'm just chilling out for, after I had a long day or whatever, just relaxing, watching the program or whatever that I enjoy. Or and what I'm saying, when I'm when I'm at, like, church and stuff, and I'm really able to, when I'm at church and I'm really able to just sit and enjoy the service, because I'm not, at another thing that I do. I'm on the audio visual team at my church, what I'm saying? So, like, doing services. So, like, saying, I'm working the cameras and stuff for, like, the live stream that we do. So, a lot of times when I'm in service, I'm still kind of like working per se. I mean, saying, like, I'm doing something, what I'm saying? So it's like, saying, I don't always get the opportunity. It's rare a lot of times when I can just sit in the service and just really just like enjoy and soak in the service, man. And so when I get to do that, oh man, I absolutely love it. You know what I'm saying? Where I can just really just not be, saying, serving in a type of capacity or whatever. So yeah, them are the times when I'm feeling, peaceful and the most peaceful.
Okay. Thank you for that. When do you feel most purposeful?
Most purposeful. I do feel purposeful also in that same moment, though, a lot of times when I'm doing the stream at my church, because and I started feeling that way when we had a guest. Our pastor brought in a guy, man, his name escapes me right now at this moment, but brought in a guy from, like, Texas or whatever, who was doing the audio visual for, saying, for this church down there. And he came in to kind of, say, speak to us, to help us step up our game as far as that's concerned. But one of the things that he, instilled in us was how important our position was, because he was saying, this is post-pandemic. Things have switched up now. It used to be 80% of the people came to church and 20% of the people watched online. Now, things are shifted. Now it's more like 80% of the people watch online, 20% of the people, actually coming to the church. So he was like, you got to realize how valuable and important your, position is. He was like, you all, as the people who are doing the stream and working the cameras and make sure the production, are responsible for how 80% of the people get their worship service every week or whatever. And I, at the time, I wasn't looking at it like that. And when I started looking at it like that, I was like, wow, like, like, it really made me step up, saying, my game, because I realized the value, how valuable my position was doing that, what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, like, this is important. It's important that I do it, and important that I get it right. But I also feel purposeful, you know, so just helping people out, like you said, if I do get the opportunity to help somebody out, you know, some with their business, and I need to get on that more. I feel purposeful just when I don't know. Trying to think of some other instances. When I'm doing with the art company, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm managing and assisting the artists. So, you know, so I'm helping them project their career. And so I feel purposeful in that, because, you know, saying I'm you know, they're not doing it by themselves, they're not doing it alone, and I'm helping to assist them, you know, accomplish their dream as well. So, you know, saying that you know, that makes me feel purposeful when I do that. So I enjoy doing that.
Thank you for that. When do you feel most powerful?
When do I feel most powerful? Wow. Hmm. I feel most powerful when I feel most powerful when I take the time and really realize the power that God has put inside of me. Um, and one of my faults is so often I forget and I don't utilize, you know, saying the power that God has, you know, saying put in me to do certain things and accomplish or whatever. And, you know, saying so when things, you know, go the way that I want to go, and I zone it out and I realize that, you know, saying God has had his hand in it or whatever, and I feel most powerful when it's like, wow, like, you know, like you exercise what God wants you to exercise a lot more than what you do in your life. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so, you know, I definitely feel those are the times when I feel the most powerful, you know what I'm saying? And when, you know, saying, or if I set up something and it's, you know, saying succeeds, or if we're doing an event and it goes, you know, saying I feel very powerful in the moments, you know what I'm saying? And I get on myself because I feel like, you know, saying it's like, you know, that could be a lot more often, you know what I'm saying? And I got to do better at just, you know what I'm saying, remembering, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? God gives you, you know, power, man. He really does, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you just got to utilize it, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I do.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Peace, power, and purpose. Listen, y'all, this is another night of the Heal Me campaign where I talk to brothers nightly. Check us again tomorrow. Listen, we want to continue to do this to give space for brothers to talk about what it is that they deal with and how they still maintain a sense of peace, power, and purpose. Tonight we revisited and conversed with Charles Sanders, and he broke down for us the things that he dealt with, and we had some breaking ground. We moved in a different direction. Charles, before we leave him, I want to ask you this last question: like,
Hmm?
what did you get from tonight?
Man, hey man, I got my purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got a renewed you know, I feel like, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be on. I want to thank you for letting God use you, even in a time and in a moment and in a capacity in which I didn't, you know, realize that He was even about to do. Not, you know, because as much as this may have been beneficial to other folks, it's been beneficial to me, and kind of like, you know that smack in the face that realized again, like, hey, you know, there are certain things that you know, he poured aside of me to do. So the biggest thing that I got from that is that, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that purpose, like you asked me that question, that was very challenging to me. Like, you know, saying, what am I here for? What I feel like my purpose is. And I feel like, you know, those two things that we discussed really kind of help narrow it down, and just a reminder, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know, you might think you don't know, but really it's right there in front of your face. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are two things. And I'm excited to see if I really put the what God will do if I put forth the effort in those two things. You know what I'm saying? Like that was very big for me. That was very big for me. You know what I'm saying? That you know, the helping Black businesses, you know what I'm saying, further themselves or better themselves through consulting and trying to, you know what I'm saying, do something about the lack of fatherhood in Black homes and communities. Like those are two, you know, like I said, I want to see what, you know, God can do or what he will do, or, you know, saying if I, you know, put forth the effort and the energy and the focus in those things, you know, I think he'll, you know, take it to a level that probably I can't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? So and I think that, you know, sometimes you gotta have, you know, somebody or something to kind of refocus your attention, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to, and I've looked so many other things because I do so many different things, or I'm involved in so many different things, but it's like, you know, if you want purpose, if you want some real purpose, that's purpose right there in both of those things. So I, you know what I'm saying, I thank you for that, and I'm you gotta see where this goes now. You know what I'm saying? That was powerful. It was really powerful for me. Really powerful.
I'm gonna stay in tune because I'm gonna stay connected because I want to see how it works too, right? I want to see.
Yeah, right. And stay on me, man. I appreciate it because man, that's what we need, man. We need accountability. You know what I'm saying? We need accountability. You know, we be accountable to our brothers and sisters, man. I believe that it'll, you know, make us be more, you know, successful and stuff. Because, you know, definitely. So please stay on me. Please stay on me. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Y'all, I'm Yusha Assad, recording artist, motivational speaker, master certified life coach. This is the Heal Me campaign, brotherly conversations.
Yes, indeed.
2023. Stay tapped in. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Peace.
Peace.